I get it when your friend starts bragging about getting a new grill and you're the one who's supposed to bring the sides. You suddenly realize you might end up spending a lot of cash on something that looks great on a showroom floor but doesn't actually fit your backyard routine. You're probably scrolling through endless models, trying to picture how much space the grill will need, how quickly it will heat, and whether you'll actually use all those extra burners. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Before you click Add to Cart, let's walk through what the Weber Genesis S335 actually does in the real world, so you can decide if it's the right fit or just another pricey patio ornament. Most people who buy a gas grill are trying to avoid the guesswork that comes with charcoal. No more waiting for coals to ash over, no more flare-ups that ruin a perfect steak. At the same time, they don't want to sacrifice the sear and flavor that a good heat source provides. The Genesis line promises a balance: 3 main burners, a dedicated side burner, and a built-in sear zone that can crank the temperature up to restaurant-level levels. The big question is whether those promises translate into everyday convenience, or whether you'll find yourself wrestling with uneven hot spots, a grill that's too big for the space you have, or a maintenance routine that eats into your weekend. The first thing I noticed about the S335 is the PureBlu burner system. Weber designed these burners with a taped-in configuration that spreads the flame more evenly across the cooking surface. In practice, that means you can lay a whole tray of chicken thighs on the left side, a couple of veggie kebabs on the right, and still get consistent heat without having to constantly shuffle the food around. When I set the knobs to medium-high for a quick burger night, the grill hit a steady 400 F in about 10 minutes, and the sear zone held 600 F long enough to give a steak that classic crust without charring the interior. That kind of heat stability is something you usually only see in higher-end models, and it shows up the moment you try to cook a mix of foods at once. The side burner is another practical perk that often gets lost in spec sheets. Imagine you're grilling a slab of ribs on the main deck, and you need to simmer a glaze or keep a pot of corn on the cob warm. With the side burner you can do both without pulling a separate portable stove out of the garage. It's small enough that it doesn't dominate the countertop, but powerful enough to bring a pot of barbecue sauce to a gentle boil while the main burners are busy searing. That extra cooking real estate also means you can keep sauces, spices, or a bowl of salad greens within arm's reach, cutting down on trips back to the kitchen. Now, let's talk about the cooking grates themselves. Weber equipped the S335 with stainless steel grates paired with flavorizer bars. The stainless steel handles the high heat without warping, and the flavorizer bars sit underneath, catching drippings that then vaporize and rain-fuse the food with a subtle smoky flavor. In a weekend family cookout, I noticed that chicken breasts stayed juicy, and the added flavor was enough that I didn't need to rely on heavy marinades. Cleaning is straightforward: a quick scrape after each use, then a wash with warm, soapy water, and the grates stay looking like new for months. One of the hidden trade-offs with any larger gas grill is grease management. Weber's grease management system channels excess fat into a removable tray that's easy to empty and clean. During a barbecue where I cooked a full rack of pork spare ribs, the system collected most of the runoff, which meant far fewer flare-ups and less mess to scrub out of the burners later. The only caveat is that the tray needs to be emptied after each session if you plan to keep the heat consistent. Otherwise, a full tray can start to block airflow and reduce the grill's efficiency. It's a small habit to form, but it pays off in longer burner life and cleaner cooking. Who should seriously consider the Genesis S335? If you're a regular grill enthusiast who hosts weekend cookouts, likes to juggle multiple dishes at once, and appreciates that extra sear zone for steaks or burgers, this grill hits the sweet spot. The 3 main burners give you enough surface area for a family of 4 plus a few extras, and the side burner lets you keep sauces or side pots in play without extra equipment. The storage locker underneath is also a nice surprise. It fits spatulas, a meat thermometer, and a propane regulator, keeping the patio tidy. In short, if you're willing to invest in a grill that can grow,